He's a legend.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Town of Cedar Lake Plan Commission Work Session of September 3rd, 2025. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please. Second. Greg, are you doing roll call?
I can.
Well, that's what I was told.
Chuck Becker.
Here.
Greg Parker is here. Robert Carnahan. Here. Pete Swick. Here. James Hunley is absent. Jerry Wilkening. Here. John Capora.
Present.
Luke Sherry. Here. David Austin.
Present.
Benjamin Eldridge.
Present.
Terrence Conley.
Here.
Tim Kubiak.
Here.
And Cheryl Hyduk is absent.
Okay. All business, Montessori Woods, extension of preliminary plat. Owner, New Century Development in 2036 West 81st Avenue, Suite B, Maryville, Indiana, 46410. Petitioner, Olthoff Homes, 8051 Wicker Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana, 416308. Vicinity of 9727 West 129th Avenue, Cedar Lake. Petitioner is requesting a one-year extension of the preliminary plat for Montessori Woods Phase 3. Hi.
Hi, good evening. Kevin Pasco of Olthoff Homes, 8051 Wicker Avenue, St. John, Indiana. Here tonight to seek a one-year extension of our primary plat for Montessori Woods Phase 3. This phase was for 87 units on 80-foot R2 lots and would complete the remaining portion of the Montessori Woods subdivision on the far north side of the project. This was initially approved at the September 20th, 2023 meeting and was extended for 1 year at the September 18th, 2024 meeting. Similar to what I explained last year, this project has been on hold due to the utility issues in the town, and we're just requesting another extension of the primary plat just so we can keep that active. The date of the new expiration we'd be requesting would be September 20th, 2026. With that, I'd be glad to take any questions or comments that you might have.
Luke, got any comments?
Nothing from me.
Building Department? Commissioners?
Makes sense to me.
I have a question.
Yes.
There was supposed to be a road that was going to go toward Parish or something like that. Did that ever get put together or it got tossed out?
So I know there was discussion of that back when...
I want to know what more discussion happened other than in here.
Yeah. I'm not aware of any outside of this.
Okay. Yeah, nothing ever transpired. I know that they made provisions for the sewer taps.
Oh, to go east. So that's all good.
Correct.
Because there's two houses back there that need sewer taps.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking about. All right.
Yep,
That's ready to go.
That was taken care of.
Okay, so those houses will be put on when? When they put all the pipe in the ground?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, yeah, so that.
Got it.
Should be forthcoming.
Got it.
When is a tricky question.
Okay. I got nothing.
Okay, if there's no other questions or comments, then we'll see you to it.
All right. That's good. Thank you.
Okay. Number 2, Colbar Site Plan. Owner, CWK Properties, Cedar Lake LLC, 7449 West 79th Street, Bridgeville, Illinois. Petitioner, Stephen Colbar, 828 Davis Street, Evanston, Illinois, 60201. Vicinity of 10833 West 133rd Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Request site plan approval for Jets Pizza and Wingstop. Hi.
Hi guys, back again. How are you?
Good.
So we're here obviously with those approvals. We, last time I saw this body, we were about ready to finalize things, but our client and the GC decided to go a different direction on our retention system, a different manufacturer, so we had to go do some redesign work, and actually just sent Luke today the final drawings, so we got that in my office today.
I should get that.
For that effort. and nothing's changed on our site really, just answering some final questions on what's required and what we need to accommodate the municipality. So we're here for this, we'll be here back next week too, or next, I think, 2 weeks as well. But we're at the tail end of it all, and we're ready to move forward.
What they're proposing work?
Yeah, I haven't looked through the resubmittal yet, but, you know, if I recall right, there was 3 kind of big ticket items left on this. One was they wanted a geotech report for your underground detention.
You have that now.
Okay. Photometrics?
Photometrics, I think they are organized photometrics. I think we worked through that with you. I'll check with my office to make sure that was done.
Okay. The last thing was water main connection.
Yes,
Going across 133rd.
That's in that supplement packet that they have submitted.
yes.
Okay. I mean, to me, those were the 3 major items. Everything
Right.
else was pretty minor.
Right.
If you think those were addressed, then...
Yeah, we feel very confident that we're ready to movement to go forward.
Oh, we'll look it over, obviously.
2 weeks enough time for you?
That's enough time.
Okay.
Luke, I'd like to, if there's anything different, put those side by side and make sure, because there was, the way the trash was gonna be dumped and the trucks were gonna be loaded, and then the Snyder Street, I believe, was gonna be grass or an island along there or something.
Okay.
From the beginning, that's been changed whatsoever.
I want them to put them side by side and make sure they're not changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the geometry of the site didn't change. The main thing was underground detention system, was the
Okay.
big one, and then where we're getting the water from, we ironed that out.
Well, there's-
And then a geotech report.
We just have, this is an old project and new people.
Completely understood. And you'll see that in action.
Any other discussion or questions? Well, if everything pans out with Luke, looking at what you submitted, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Very good. Thank you all.
Number 3, Hanover Central High School, waiver of requirements request. Owner, Hanover Central High School, 10120 West 133rd Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner, Aaron Reynolds, Aaron Hurt, 9300 East Ohio Street, Suite G, Indianapolis, Indiana, 46304. City of 10120 West 133rd Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner was requesting a waiver for required volume baseboard between the 100-year HWI and top of berm detention pond. Do we have anybody here?
Maybe they'll be here at 7, Mr. President.
Terry, you talked to anybody? They supposed to be here?
Not really. This is just a letter that was referred to by Don Oliphant about a week and a half ago, and basically going over requests from the construction company over the freeboard elevation. And Luke can say it best, but it seemed pretty perfunctory. It was just a straight up acceptance of a design criteria.
Was it referred to by Don Oliphant a week ago?
Yeah, Don sent the email on a Sunday, believe it or not.
He's still been
Yeah.
reviewing this.
I think he needs to quit working on Sunday, but whatever.
I think, and I don't know if they knew
Absolutely
that
not.
they had to be here tonight, but, you know, the contractor, this was obviously this is a high school project that's been going on a long time. They were used to dealing with Don, so I think they just naturally reached out to Don about this issue. As Terry mentioned, there's one, the southwestern detention basin at the high school. When they did their as-built survey, they realized they were slightly deficient in volume, and then the freeboard requirement, which is measured between the 100-year high water level and the top of berm, was supposed to be 1 foot, and it was 0.7 feet. So, you know, in our opinion, you know, these were slight deficiencies, but nothing significant or meaningful. It's not gonna cause any harm. So we didn't really have any objections to the waiver, but obviously they still need plan commission approval.
And you sent a letter out to that effect, didn't you? I read a letter on that, was that from you or Don?
So the letter actually that's in the packet came from the school corporation asking for the waiver, and Don had sent an email to Terry, I think, whatever last Sunday was, a week and a half ago, saying that, you know, I agree that these are pretty minor deviations, no objections. I agree with that, but we didn't actually pen an actual letter.
Lou, could you pull the actual pond up on the GIS, please?
I'll have to use the Lake County one.
Yeah, question, Mr. President.
Yes.
Is this the same project that we were asking for as-built and Skillman didn't provide them for the longest time? They were fighting us over it?
I'm not sure if it was this one or I think they were also doing
I think that's the middle school.
Middle school was the
That's
other
what I
one.
did too, middle school.
This is the high school where they did the ball fields.
They've both
been from those projects, though. This is actually the final as-bills for the athletic field improvements on the far west side and behind the football field. And these are those same as-built reviews you are referring to.
I think the pond in question is the southwestern one, right off of 133rd.
So you said south,
Southwest, yep.
okay, southwest. That pond's been there for how long? And it's not big enough.
It's
3%.
It's like a 3%,
Yeah,
3%.
So how much soil do they have to take out of the bottom?
It's 0.05 acre feet, so that's, I have to get out my calculator for that math.
Has Don alluded to how many other waivers they're gonna need? Because obviously the as-bills aren't done. And as they find these as-bills that aren't right,
I think that
are they gonna be in here for waivers
I
every
believe
time?
this is the final thing for the high school project. There's a couple other issues on the middle school project that are not quite as insignificant as this one, but obviously that pond's been there for a long time. I think
Long time.
that's been there since.
So if we give them a waiver for this one. I
Right,
think
and again,
that's
this one-
That's exactly my point, Chuck.
And it's
Well,
not the
as far as
whole
staff,
school corporation.
as far as staff and the engineer goes, the other ones were not able to be brought here because they weren't adequate, so. This is an insignificant, I mean, it's a minuscule amount, it's not gonna cause any problems,
They are requesting a waiver.
and that's why they're asking for the waiver, it's just that, it's that small percent, and Don and Luke feel that this is not gonna be, that this is.
Well, but to Chuck's point, the as-bills aren't done. How many more times are they gonna be in here looking for
This is
waivers?
gonna complete the high school as-built here. I don't know, that's a question.
So the pond to the west, the northeast, over there behind the ball fields that are all done, that one's all good?
To my knowledge, all the other ponds were fine, it was just the one.
Yeah, they're doing the ball fields right now.
Right, yeah, that's not done. Yeah, they're still doing
Well,
that.
that's kinda what I'm getting at here. But we don't,
Cannot predict the future.
no, we can't.
Right.
But
So we're gonna set precedents.
This is just closing that other one, that's all that is. This is an item that needed to be addressed, and we're.
Again, the engineer's opinion is that this is not enough to cause any issues, so if you guys think it is gonna cause an issue, then you don't grant on the waiver and make them dig it out. I mean, that's why they're here.
How much soil they have to take out of the bottom?
2,200 cubic feet.
What is that in inches in the area of the pond?
Say 200.
0.34.
0.34 of a foot.
Okay. So quite frankly, their lack of maintenance over all these years probably created this problem.
or just lack.
Speculating, of course.
If the asphalt could have been done, when the project was done, they probably would have been good.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's about an inch over the surface area of that pond.
Okay.
That's not enough to dig up.
No.
No. They has built sometime like this, that they wouldn't be in here.
Probably true.
I have nothing else.
So we're okay with this?
Sounds like it.
Okay, we'll say we're okay with it per, recommendations of town engineers. Number 4, NIPSCO 2026 Mobile Substation, Northern Indiana Public Service Company LLC, 290 West Net, Nationwide Boulevard, Columbus, Ohio, 43216, as the owner. Petitioner Rachel Shamagna, sorry,
Perfect.
vicinity.
Lady from NIPSCO.
Yeah, try to say Kapora, yeah. Vicinity 6816 West 133rd Avenue, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting a site plan review.
How bad did he butcher your last name?
It wasn't that horrible. Once you get past the schmag, it just is ran off. Makes the whole sentence.
I kind of drew her in.
Yeah. Are you guys still doing name and address?
Yeah.
Okay. Rachel Schmaganoff, 601 East 86th Avenue, Maryville, Indiana. Thanks for having me again. It's been a while. So, yes, so we are looking to basically just get like a re-review of our proposal since we were unable to obtain that eastern easement, which is okay. The property owner just decided that they had some personal events going on in their life, and we're trying to figure out how they can make that property work for their family, and so things just take turns sometimes. So there was a little bit of a redesign so that all of the stormwater development will be contained onto the NIPSCO site that is currently owned. There will be no need for that eastern extension.
You did get one easement though?
We did get one easement.
And that comes into play then with?
Yes, yeah, because that's where the downside of the pipe will be.
Luke, you reviewed this?
Yeah, I reviewed this, and, as Rachel mentioned, this came up, I think, back in February, and so the idea, I think, at that time was they get the easement from the property owner to the east, and they could replace that entire clay tile from that ditch. They weren't able to get the easement, so they connected in what they could to the tile on their property, put in an overflow structure. It's basically the best you're gonna do without getting that easement, so we didn't have any objections to that. We thought that was acceptable. It's really, again, the best you're gonna do. Aside from that, though, they do need waivers for one lot subdivision, gravel pad, even though there's no structure, and also detention, so they would need those waivers in addition to.
And you'll put that in a letter?
I did put that in a letter. I don't know if it made it in the packet, but I sent the letter last week, stating that.
Is that the triangle piece, Luke, on there? Can you zoom in anymore?
I believe this is.
That's it there?
Yep, that's it
This is it
there.
here.
So only really the front 0.25 acres are going to be any activity. The remainder of the site will stay exactly the same.
Yeah, we went over everything before.
Yeah.
Discussed it, it was just a matter of the easements, and, seeing as how that didn't, only 50% worked out for you, you came up with a solution that the town engineer's happy with. Building department, any comments on it?
No, it's still a gravel pad. I don't see any issues with the same plan as before. I still would like to see it over there next to the other one, but.
Yeah, we would have liked that too. That would have made it a lot
It's
easier.
up to you, yeah, I mean, but
They're still for sale, right?
obviously they can't come to an agreement on that one, but yeah, I mean.
And they've been working on that purchase or an agreement on that property and that easement for at least 4 to 5 months.
Yeah.
They just can't come to terms. So, I just don't think they wanna sell.
So for clarity, I hear gravel pad, gravel pad. What is sitting inside the fenced area? Transformers,
Okay, so-
transformers and switches?
Most of the time, nothing. This is basically going to be a
It's gonna be
gravel lot.
backfeed from a generator?
Yeah, so the mobile substation will be parked
Okay.
there, basically, while we're doing the transformer replacement at the main substation.
Okay.
That way, none of your customers none of our customers, I guess, none of your townspeople will lose power in the interim while we're making the transition.
So, if you do put equipment in that fenced-in area of some kind, that will have a foundation of some kind?
It will not have a foundation.
At all? Okay,
Nope.
all right.
There will be
It's the
one
same as the mobile, the station on 133rd on the west side, where they ask for the gravel in that area, and it's better for their grounding for their equipment, and not having it on that sequence.
Well, there was a lot of fuzziness the last time the first time she was here, second time, third time,
There
whatever it
was,
was.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
got more
we'll have
answer-
the
I got more answers this
coming
time, and I
off the
appreciate
street. So, there will be a pole that will be located in there because we obviously have to feed the mobile substation with the existing infrastructure, so we are adding a few poles, but, those are depicted in the plans.
Any other comments or decisions? Discussion?
Luke, there's nothing here that concerns you? Kind of squeeze it together?
Yeah, it actually, in fact, they were able to fit in, they're not putting in detention here, but they are putting in a couple of rain gardens, so they are managing their stormwater on site.
So,
They're taking care of the off-site stormwater from the property to the east.
okay, that was
Honestly,
my next question.
Yeah, it works out pretty well.
Okay.
Well, if there's no other discussion, this is all set to go in 2 weeks. Okay.
All right,
See you in
thank
2
you.
weeks. Thank you, Rachel. Number 4, Yukon Concept Plan, owner Nick Yukon, 13043 Polk Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner Adam M. Sworden, 337 West 806 North, Cedar Lake, Indiana, vicinity of 13043 Polk Street, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting a concept plan. Anybody here on the line?
Yes.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Attorney Adam Sworden here for petitioner property owner Nick Yukon. What you have before you this evening is the finalized petition application with the updated exhibits from DVG for the two pieces of property we discussed at the last meeting informally that would be vacated. That includes a 2.7-foot walking path and then the corresponding section of the Polk Street portion that goes north to kind of square that off. So this is the formal application now in front of you with the updated exhibits that we didn't have at the last meeting for consideration and further comment before we move to the next step.
Luke, do you have any comments?
Nope, no comments from me on this one.
Looks good, then, huh?
Yeah.
Building department?
No, I think it's a good effort to clean up this thing here. I guess my question is, like, you're vacating number 3, and then what is the number 7?
Tim, you might be referring back to the old exhibits from the submission.
That's the ones I got in my pictures here, so I guess.
Okay, let me pull that up, because I'm just looking at the 3 or 4 pages for the application. So number 7.
I thought that does change, that's why I was kind of confused that's why I was asking, so.
Sure, let me get that out in that old drawing that has the reference. I think it's also color coded too.
Correct. Where's the good new one at? Is this not the new one? This is the old one.
This is the old. Sure.
You've got applications on one page.
Number 7, all right, Tim, so number 7 is the blue section from our old exhibit, kind of
Yeah.
talking about all these issues over there.
Yeah.
That was gonna be the, well, there's an existing concrete path over there. What we were originally looking at doing was doing the swap, but then what we discussed in the meeting was given what the town is looking at doing with that, area over on lot 16 that they acquired many, many years ago. And then formalizing and my client agreeing, and we can do a written commitment as part of this approval process, is to put the pathway in over there. Is then to kind of get everybody to go over there and use that access point in the Potawatomi Park. So they kind of removed the need for having any of that access over there. So the only areas that would be then vacated from this old drawing you're still looking at would be the red number 3, which was actually part of that land exchange back, I think, in the 80s or early 90s for that 10 feet that we're talking about to the west that the town's now approving. And then the corresponding portion, and it's not outlined in pink, but if you see the number 2 that's next to the green triangle with the number 1 in it, they're just squaring off that north triangular piece that would then line up with number 3 and number 7. So basically, he's got that section of the Polk Street right-of-way vacated because there's no need to have access to number 3 and number 7 because they won't exist.
Gotcha. So basically now the request is for vacating the 2.7 feet, and then in exchange for vacating that, he's going to relocate that storm sewer in that 10-foot right-of-way, and then improve that right-of-way with a concrete walkway or sidewalk of sorts. Is there any proposal for what is to be done there, the stormwater and the width of the sidewalk, or the plan, or like an 8-foot sidewalk or a 6-foot sidewalk, or?
Are you talking about over on what we would be putting in over on, the 10 foot of lot 16?
Yes.
It's essentially, Tim, working with you on whatever the town decides they want to do there for a path. I know there's not a lot of room over there, and there was some discussion at the last meeting, or maybe it was 2 meetings ago. Is that an 8-foot path? Is it a 10-foot path? Is there drainage that goes in there? Essentially, whatever you guys decide you want to have for access for that walkway, he's going to be agreeing to pay to have that put in. That comes all the way out to the Polk Street right-of-way adjacent to his portion of lot 16.
Well, I did meet Mr. Yukon out there, and I mean, he was in agreement to reroute that stormwater through that 10-foot strip that it basically goes through the middle of his property now to the lake, so obviously it's a win-win to get it in an official easement and, relocate it into the park and then discharge it into the lake, so, he was good with that, and then, I don't know, what you guys think of the sidewalk through there, but something easy to maintain and make that a nice, 6-8 foot concrete sidewalk through there to the park would be kind of.
Well, are you talking about the 10-foot by lot 16?
Yes.
Because I'm looking at a picture and it looks like part of that, is on somebody else's property, or they're just using it. Because the yellow line cuts through the van.
Yeah, there's 2 fences, there's actually 2 chain link fences down there, they're
Okay.
they're pretty darn close to 10 foot apart.
Okay. So there's another 10-foot to the east of this, that's on the east end of lot 17. Which 10-foot is staying? The west 10-foot or the east 10-foot?
The
One that's labeled number 5,
yeah.
that's gonna stay.
One of them is labeled, okay,
One that's it's a 10.
455.
This part of
Well,
lot
we're
16.
obviously looking at different pictures here, so.
Yeah, I don't know where that.
On the bottom,
To the northwest. That's the one that's,
Right.
okay.
Correct.
So, I think this is a great idea. I also think that, we need to get all those, property owners dialed in. Mr. Swarden, how's that working out?
Well, what is proposed before you tonight is within 100% control and ownership of my client, Nick Yukon. The issue that comes into the rest of the community, it relates to that dedicated park, which, depending on if you're looking at the old exhibit that Tim was referencing, we had outlined in green, it was parcel 1. Nothing that we're looking at doing here tonight asking for impacts that park piece, so that remains as it currently sits. We're still waiting on some detailed title work to come back for tax history for that going back 80, 90 plus years.
You're talking about the triangle, right?
Correct,
Okay.
yes, not to be confused with the triangle that's being proposed, it's actually part of Polk right-of-way to the east of the triangle that is the park.
You're just trying to get the first piece done that's ready to be done.
Correct, the one that's the easiest, because it makes sense to get that cleaned up, because he's obviously continuing to clean up the property and looking for the improvements to go in, just to make everything work better for the town and for him. And if we're able to get the information that we need on the park piece, then we can go have a discussion, with representatives of the community to see if they would agree to possibly, cut that in half. I mean, logistically, it would make sense for the north piece to be cut to line up with the right-of-way that we're asking for the vacation land, or looking at cutting that triangle in half down the middle to add more to the west side that would go over towards lot 16 and 17, where we're talking about making the additional improvement for Potawatomi Park. So. that's where we're
Didn't you
at.
say, Tim, that we're vacating 2.5 feet? That belonged to the HOA, right?
No, this is a public access right of way, 2.7 feet, it's right to the south of the house.
That's a public way.
See that little concrete walk right to the south of the house?
I'm looking at a
I
satellite
don't know where
picture,
the
so,
picture, I don't know.
yeah. I'm looking at,
It shows more detail, so this
It's right here.
iPad, if you look at
okay.
it's item number 3.
Yukon property lines PDF, it's the wrong picture, but it gives you some good intel.
Okay. I'm just asking, I don't wanna get ahead of the HOA and
No, that's.
everybody that has
that's
to
what-
okay this.
So,
It says right
so
on
the
it,
part that
public
was in
access.
controversy
Okay.
was the green, the little green
Oh, okay.
triangle,
All
that's
right.
the part, that's the one that
That was
they're saying.
2.7, okay, got it, public access.
Public access right away.
Okay, got it, thanks, Bob.
That's why it's ready now.
Got it.
So I guess, I mean, my only thing is just that we have I think it's a great idea, and I don't know what you guys, he's willing to improve that 10-foot strip for vacating the 2.7 feet, kind of a trade-off. Fix the storm sewer, which I have he did make a nice little preliminary plan with a catch basin and a 12-inch pipe and the outfall into the lake, which, we just need to know essentially what you guys would agree to for a sidewalk. I was just thinking a 4-inch thick sidewalk, either 6 or 8 feet wide with a little mulch next to the fence on each side, so it was a nice
Well,
clean.
I think all this is a really good idea. You need to specify the pipe, or you tell him what you want and let him,
The pipe's
let
gonna
him
go
dial
next
it
to the
in.
sidewalk, right, so you don't have to bust up the sidewalk if you gotta work on the
But we-
pipe.
The pipe's gonna go right down the middle of that 10-foot easement going to the heading.
So will the sidewalk be on one way, one side or the
The
other?
fence, the sidewalk will go right over the top of the new storm drain.
Okay.
So,
The catch basins will be at the road and then.
You'll have cleanouts in it,
And
yeah.
I'll have clean
Well,
out,
access.
a brand new pipe and it will be.
we heard the word emergency, so if there's a problem down at the lake, they're gonna have to drive an ambulance over that sidewalk. And it's gonna have to
That's
be
only a
full.
10-foot strip, so chances are you're not getting an ambulance through there, but the park is working on, they bought the property.
Yeah,
You see where lot 17 is. the
There's gonna
next-
be public
the next
access
lot,
down there.
There's another 35-foot strip that's gonna be emergency access.
Correct.
Okay. Right, and then, we're feeding everything into this park. What's to protect the park in 10 years from ending up in and this is for the elected officials, to keep the park from ending up in a, public-private partnership, being sold, that kind of thing. Is there any thoughts on that? Because now we're finding what we're pushing everybody into the park, we're valuing their properties based on the park.
Part of the method to the madness for buying the 35-foot piece of property was public access to the park.
Got it. Okay. Just making good record.
Any other discussion? Comments? This is ready for
I
2
guess
weeks.
my only comment is, what's your guys' thought on the width of the sidewalk? Because I'd like to have an agreement with these guys when they come back for an approval, so that way everybody's on the same page, you know what I mean?
Well, it's a 10 foot?
It's a 10-foot strip in between the fence.
So you mentioned so much sidewalk and so much mulch, who's gonna keep putting mulch down there every year?
Well, it's gonna become part of the maintenance of the park, I'm imagining. I mean, it's gonna be, you know, the park.
If it's 10 foot of concrete, then there is no maintenance.
There's still maintenance,
Right.
crack weeds and things of that nature.
Yeah, and again, that's why I'm asking.
Where's the clean out
No
there?
matter what somebody chooses, somebody else chooses something different, so balls in your guys' court, what do you?
Where's the clean out at? Catch basin
There's
clean
gonna
out.
be a catch basin at the street, at Polk Street, and then the next catch basin will be in the park after the property line and then turn towards the lake, so,
Is that gonna have to be a great big sediment basin?
no.
Just a structure, something that they can clean up.
I mean, for them to clean out, are they gonna have to drive on top of the sidewalk? Is it gonna risk cracking the sidewalk when driving
No,
on it?
it's a 10-foot, this is not big enough to get in with a vehicle.
So how do you clean?
So how do you clean out
get
the catch
basin?
basin?
The 35-foot access.
Okay.
Okay.
So you'll clean that, you'll clean at Polk Street and then you'll clean in the park?
I'll figure it out, I don't have a plan yet, we'll get it.
Hey, Luke, help me with the plan, would you?
35-foot easement.
Let's just say we'll get it cleaned up, yeah. Yeah, we have a 35-foot path to drive down there.
Hey, Luke will tell you what to do and you can tell him why it's wrong.
Perfect.
Okay.
Does the 4 feet meet ADA specs?
4 foot.
Yeah, at least 4 feet. Yeah, you said it's gonna be 4 feet wide, does that meet ADA specs?
I mean, normally, a minimum of a 5-foot sidewalk.
There's a public sidewalk, 5 foot.
But you're calling for 4 foot.
No, I was calling for 8.
Oh, I heard.
6 to 8.
Okay, sorry, I heard
6
4
to
foot.
8, right, I said 6 to 8, but I just think there should be a little bit of room next to the fence, so it can be,
Hey, weed whack.
not look like, yeah, I mean, but,
I
again,
prefer the 8.
uh,
I prefer the 8.
The 6 makes more sense to be able to maintain both sides if you gotta change a post or whatever.
yeah, it's enough to walk through for sure.
Double pass too, 6 foot.
Yeah, so, that's why I asked, I would like to, these guys have we have the stormwater thing already, so if we had that, they could have something official.
6 feet would do it, it'd keep you from busting up concrete if you gotta work on something, more than likely. If you go from post to post,
Yeah, so it's a nice walk through there.
yeah.
For sure. I think it looks better with a little bit of landscape next to the sidewalk than
Both sides.
I mean, I just think aesthetically it's a nicer look.
And we know for sure that's 10 feet. Legal 10 feet?
10 feet.
Okay.
And that's without giving up that park, correct?
Correct. Yeah, this is just the little 2.7 foot, and then there's a little triangle piece on that number 2, if you're looking at that same drawing that I have.
There's a triangle piece, just east of the adjacent number 1, that they'll wind up taking just to square the property off, that's all.
If it's possible.
Because it services nothing at that point.
Just a little access point to the 2.7 feet.
It's pretty straightforward and it cleans up a lot.
Definitely does, and I think that getting that little 10-foot thing cleaned up and improved is awesome for a trade-off for the 2.7. Cleans all that up and makes it nice.
So do we have enough information to continue in 2 weeks, or do they have to bring us some more?
It looks like they're ready.
For the first part, they're ready. There'll be other parts forthcoming, possibly.
The park's gonna be a different.
applied for, they're ready.
Yes, for what the application says, they're ready.
So we're all good, you guys up here are all good with a 6-foot concrete sidewalk through there, 2 foot of mulch on either side?
Yes.
What color mulch?
Whatever color you like.
Rocks they can throw.
That should be in motion.
I like pine barks.
Pine bark mulch.
And we know for sure the park's gonna be taking care of that?
The next meeting.
They mow it now.
Okay.
We want cedar, don't we? We want cedar mulch.
So when you do your site plan approval, like Attorney Austin said, that should be, and we'll try to put that in there, that'll be a part of your motion, is the 6-foot sidewalk.
Well, that's why I wanna have a little plan with the storm drainage, the sidewalk, the mulch, so that way you can say, the plan that's presented, and they know what they need to do, and you guys know what you're getting, and
So who's doing the design work on this storm stuff? You two?
Yeah, PGX already did a plan, so Luke's gonna look at it, it meets our pipe sizes, and essentially it's a catch basin right in front of that 10-foot strip.
And Mr. Swarden and his client are good with that?
Yes. Well, I don't know if Mr. Swarton is, but his client is.
Okay.
I didn't talk to him, but I did talk to him.
I can officially on the record say I am.
Okay, I didn't talk to you about it.
Okay, thank you.
So back to the mulch, is that pretty much level ground, or is that leading towards the lake? Because I don't want to see the mulch
No, it's
going
a
into
flat.
the lake.
It's flat.
It's level as could be.
Okay.
Then the other 35 feet's flat too.
I mean, if you'd rather see some landscape stone in there instead of mulch, then you don't have to freshen it up every year. It's your guys',
Yeah, mulch is hard to throw, though. Mulch is hard to throw,
agreed.
It doesn't break glass usually.
usually.
It'll be a huge improvement to get through there. It'll look really, really nice, especially with that thing all fixed up and the new, all cleaned up. It'll be.
Okay, then I guess we're all set for 2 weeks. All right, see you in 2 weeks.
All right, thank you, everyone.
You're welcome. Number 5, Tex Taco, INLLC. Waiver from site plan. Owner petitioner, Tex Taco, INLLC, Juan Pablo de Vila, 4925 North Ocano Road, Suite 200, 4925 North, Irving, Texas, 75062. Vicinity of 13300 Lincoln Plaza Way, number 1, Cedar Lake, Indiana. Petitioner is requesting a waiver from the site plan for a new business, old Pizza Hut building.
Chapter 17.
Chapter 17.
Joshua King, are you?
Yeah, chapter 17, yeah, I understand.
1-4 Stonegate Drive, Montgomery, Illinois. I'm Director of Operations for Tex Taco, and we're looking to renovate the property that was Pizza Hut into our new restaurant. So that's why we're here today.
Okay, you want to give your name and address?
Juan Pablo.
What's your address?
Yeah, I'm from Dallas. I don't have an address.
He doesn't technically have an address.
Microphone, please.
Microphone.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't have any specific address in Dallas. I'm just moved to here.
Okay.
Can't hear you back here.
Okay.
He's helping us with our.
Okay.
That's why I gave my address.
So this is just, chapter 17, waiver in the site plan is what we're doing?
Yes.
And we're not talking anything about the renovation inside or anything now, correct?
No, not now. Just a site plan, and then they'll go to the,
Building
to their
department.
building
Okay.
on that.
Yeah.
I just have a couple questions. I mean, you're planning on using the same footprint as the Pizza Hut. The rear half of the building is gonna stay unfinished.
Yes.
The number of tables inside of the restaurant's gonna stay the same as what the Pizza Hut was, because my only concerns are that it doesn't get any bigger due to the parking and this, that location, so.
Right.
As long as you're using that same footprint.
Same number of tables, same square footage.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
You're doing nothing outside, other than the sign.
Other than signage.
As long as that's all understood, that's all I have to make sure.
Yeah, occupancy is a important thing over there.
Right.
Hi, this is Marcia Ilochepa, and I'm with, the Tex Taco, Indiana, and doing business, hopefully, as Taco Burn. We're actually downsizing because I believe, as far as the seating, I believe the seats are maybe like at 28, and I spoke with Terry, and we kind of decided to maybe go down to 20.
Well, as long as that's on paper.
It's the same or less. It's
That's
still
gonna be
the
a
same.
part of their design when they do that. The recommendation, they had 33 seats. If you look at the welcome to business and toward the bottom, I think it's the third off the bottom, you'll see when they're gonna be open. You'll also see the number of seats that they needed. They needed 22. We felt that that was maybe a little excessive because they had 33 chairs inside the facility, and I said, I think 20 would be a better number for you if you did that, and she agreed that that would be a good number. And that's consistent to what we've done in the past with other restaurants that are basically trying to use anywhere from 15 to 17 spaces.
I'm good as long as it isn't more than it was before.
I want to get back to the word occupancy, because standing and eating in a hurry along a bar is also occupancy. So whatever that number is for occupancy, you know, we need to know that.
Any other questions?
I don't have any.
The back, Tim, hang on, you're concerned about the back of the building not being finished?
Well, I'm not concerned with it.
Okay.
At this point, I just want to make sure that they weren't planning on taking that wall down and using the entire.
I got you.
It's the same, I mean, there's been a couple attempts to try to utilize the second unit that they created without parking, which was frowned upon.
I just want to make sure I know where you're going with that.
I just want to make sure that they, you know, that same footprint and the same approval for the same.
Same
amount.
square footage.
There was never a problem with the Pizza Hut as far as parking and number of people and everything while they were there, so to continue that same thing on is just good practice.
That's what the approval's gonna be.
The parking problem would be nice, wouldn't it? But we have to base the parking on the seating on the parking and the parking on the seating.
What they submitted on their diagram, that back section says not included.
Correct.
So if we're approving this, it says right there not included, so it means they can't use it to do they're in violation.
Correct, I just was putting it out there for the record that everybody knew everybody's on the same page, that's all.
And when Pizza Hut was there, the semis would come down that one way in the wrong direction because they could not unload the stuff.
Yeah, the doors were on the wrong side of the trailer.
Yeah, so it's a one-way going south, and the semi would come in going north. And so they were blocking the road, and I got down there one day and they couldn't get through.
Keep it in mind.
I got it.
Go back in.
Ideally, that would be nice.
All right, any other questions?
I don't have any.
No, sir.
If not, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right.
All right, thank you. Update items, Rose Garden Estates, Unit 1, performance letter of credit in the amount of $6,067,696.25 to expire on October 10th, 2025. It's been, over 7 days, so they're done over there, huh?
Not quite, sir, not quite. Just to give you an update, we have been identifying, items on the list, both for Public Works. I believe that we are ready for re-inspection on the Public Works list. We have identified some items that still need to be completed on the Christopher Burke list, as well as a couple of additional items that just by going out and looking at it, they're not on a list, but over the time that has lapsed, we believe that they certainly will be, looked at. So, rather than, just finish what's on the list, we're gonna go complete extra work that we've noticed that is kind of crumbling as well. It's mainly some sidewalks, and portions of the community. So, we do have a meeting tomorrow with Christopher Burke and with Mackey, just to make sure that we are all looking at the most current, list, make sure that any discussions that have been had in the past, that, everything is accounted for, and we can move forward. So, for this particular surety that is up in the beginning of October, the hope is that we will be able to reduce it, or we'll possibly be able to get phase one onto a maintenance amount. So we will have more at tomorrow's meeting with Mackey and CBOT. But right now, we're Sunday right now, we're getting close.
So do you think you're gonna be done, before this, letter of credit is, expires?
Well, that is the goal. This letter of credit is for the surety, for phase one improvements, and like I said, our goal is to try to get that onto a maintenance period, so. I think we'll have a better direction after tomorrow's meeting. Our corporate automatically renews these things about a month before they are set to expire, so, that will be put into progress here probably within the next week, and that is what we're trying to do, is see if, there's an agreement that we can have, then we'll be able to get that down to a maintenance amount. Obviously, all items need to be addressed, re-inspected, and all sides comfortable with what we're proposing.
Okay, well, we'll wait for the, Luke's, report and Tim's report, and we'll see what happens at the next meeting.
And Mr. Wilkening, I do have that list of homeowner concerns that you had requested at the last meeting. Does not do me very much good to be able to have it with me when I'm on Zoom here, but I did forget about my daughter's birthday tonight. But I will email that to everybody on the Plans Commission tomorrow morning.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're all set? Okay, thank you. Number 2, offshore estates, maintenance letter of credit in the amount of $33,388.38 to expire on October 20th, 2025.
Good evening, David Carey, 14016 Fairbank.
Where are we at? Luke, you got any?
Yeah, a couple things. So Tim and I met on site last week, well, with some residents, but also with Dave. Looked at some drainage issues. We identified some grading improvements that need to be done along the west side of the development. We also had our staff go out there and do inspections of the infrastructure, so we'll be getting Dave a punch list of items here shortly. And I think Tim's guys will be out there later this week to look at sanitary and storm sewer. We'll add in whatever items they come up with, give Mr. Carey a punch list for final set of improvements before maintenance expires.
Tim, you got anything to add to that?
No, everything looked really good. There was that one swale on the west side that needs a little bit of, it's off about a foot, but that was due to one of the houses that was built and nothing major. Everything else looked really good. I mean, the whole neighborhood looks good. Nothing, I know TJ went out and marked some curb, there's a couple little curb repairs and, a couple incidental stuff, but, I think he should be able to get that stuff taken care of and ready to go by the end of his time.
By the end of when?
By the time he needs to, what was it, October?
October?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I mean, as
should be
soon as
on
I get the
track.
punch list, I'll start chipping away at it.
All right,
Were you out there a week ago?
Yes.
Okay. Does he have his punch list?
He doesn't have it yet. We're getting it together. We'll get it to you in the next day or so.
Okay. Then this goes to maintenance. And
No,
then,
this is done then.
It already is maintenance.
okay, it's maintenance. Maintenance, so we're correcting the maintenance,
This is the end of the line.
okay? And the pond and everything in the back that's been in discussion and question, that's all being taken care of too?
Yeah, the pond is good.
I thought the pond needed something taken out of it.
And that was the thought, but there's
Before they did
nothing.
the calculations.
Okay.
That was kind of the assumption, but it's not there, so.
So this gets turned over to the HOA at this point? No?
What does?
Once he's got his bond money, then the developer's done and it belongs to the HOA?
Some of it belongs to the town.
Not necessarily? That'd be in the bylaws?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
I got nothing.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Nick. Number 3, Lakeside, Unit 2, Block 1, proposed letter of credit in the amount of $605,505.40 to expire on November 15, 2025. Do we have any updates?
No, I think the update is we need to do our inspections and get out there. This was, I think, a reminder for us more
Right.
than anything at this point.
Right.
We'll get out there and get eyes and get a list together.
Okay, that sounds good. All right, public comment. Do we have any public comment?
I got some questions.
Everyone, Derek Ward, 13546 Beach Place in the Offshore Estate subdivision. Thank you again for Luke and Tim coming out to look at the property so quickly. I guess we'll just wait to stay tuned for the punch list and the timeline, which needs to be done by October 20th. That was just a couple follow-up questions. So, as this maintenance bond gets delivered back, there's 3 more properties, there's lots, I should say, that will be built on for residential, and then there's obviously the commercial property. If future challenges arise, we see issues that occur, what is the responsibility or role, what do we do as homeowners at that point?
So you're saying if a builder, somebody builds another house,
Yeah,
things
and something
aren't
goes
right,
haywire.
things are haywire.
Right.
Dave, what is that, how does that slingshot back here?
The responsible party would be responsible.
The individual party, and the town would have to take action against that responsible party?
Yes.
So it would be the builder, would be the...
What, Dave?
Minimally, there might be multiple parties, but that all have to.
Well, I mean, it's a hypothetical question.
I just, we don't want to be in this situation moving forward, right? I don't want to be here, you guys don't want to probably hear from me either. But like, so I just want to know and be prepared and be able to educate the other homeowners. There's people that are currently exist, and when new homes get built, things can happen which can cause problems to existing homeowners. But then there's going to be homeowners that are buying the property that are moving in that should be aware and keep a pulse on this stuff to make sure that people don't have to come back and fix things again in the future, right? I would like to try to combat the problem and prevent it earlier. So I'm really here just asking if something were to arise in the future, who's involved in that discussion?
So the answer to your question
Yeah.
is the individual. If somebody's building a house and we're out of the bond with the developer, that individual's responsible.
person purchasing
And the
the
town has to apply that.
Town does have to apply.
Yeah, the town has to apply it.
I mean, to add to that, there's probably gonna be some policy changes going forward with the zoning ordinance to have a better, vehicle to hold people accountable as they're building these things.
Okay.
The Airbnb thing is gonna get addressed in some sort of policy as well.
Okay.
We're looking into that.
Okay. Okay, great.
So, that's just gonna take some time.
Okay. All right.
So, I mean, as far as the new people, the old people, I mean, you're gonna have to share that. And having the current version of the bylaws,
Mhm.
and knowing those real well would be important.
Yeah, we're gonna look for those.
But, once October 20th rolls around and everything is good with Luke and Tim, it becomes the town's responsibility
Okay.
to chase down problems.
Okay, great. That's my first question. My second question is, I just wanted to check on if there was a perspective from you and Tim on, it wasn't with the swale and the grading on, I guess, the northwest side of my property since I'm on the corner, but more of like the southwest property where the hill runs into like a bowl where my neighbor who just left lives. That water just doesn't make it all the way through to the drain because it's just not designed that way. So she does get the worst of it. When you came out and reviewed the property, did you have any thoughts on like what might need to be done in the future to help combat some of the water that she gets?
I think she needs to do grading improvements on her own property to sort of divert
Okay.
some of that flow.
Okay.
I think the plan for offshore estates was sort of the best that they could do,
Okay.
you know, in their property limits.
Mhm.
But as you know, that street to the south and all that area just kind of funnels to her property, unfortunately. So without doing some rework of that, land to the south of her property, honestly, I think that's the best they're gonna do. You know, I think the offshore estates probably helped her significantly with all the water that used to go towards her is now actually diverted to the north, you know, to the basin.
It's way better than it, you should have seen what was there before.
I heard some stories about, you used to live over there.
When it rained heavily, there was literally a river running down the road.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's still a problem there, and
Okay.
that, we feel bad, but I think some improvements on her property are probably the only thing left to do.
Okay. Do you have like a thought on like what that might run her? Like just, is it, I don't know anything about this, is it expensive to?
It is kind of like a glorified landscaping exercise,
Okay.
but yeah, it's not cheap. We
Okay.
can help with, you know, ballparking some dollars for her if that's helpful,
Okay.
but, yeah,
Okay.
without putting a little pen to the paper, it's a little tough to say.
Okay.
So Luke, the west property line where this swale is, how many feet of that need to be corrected?
It's essentially, I'll, see if I can zoom out here.
Probably 80.
It's, essentially a portion of the,
First two lots?
it's a portion of lot 3 and all of lot 2.
Oh, okay.
So I'd
Right.
say, what
It
else?
wasn't all black, well, I guess maybe it was.
Uh,
I mean, it wasn't,
basically
from the catch base on the corner of these, her property to that offset on that lot 3 in that house, it needs to go, go from there to there.
It's about 120
The property line is
feet.
about a foot.
Okay.
8
Right.
foot.
So it's very doable?
Yeah, it's not a big project, so.
All right, thank you. And my final question is, I thought I had heard that there were possibly multiple MS4 violations for Ryan Dykma's property. Have those all been reviewed, and are they all over, or are there more coming up that are under review, or did I just hear that number incorrectly?
That depends, is he still hauling dirt out of there?
He was hauling dirt out, he was given a notice to get the dirt out of there, I haven't seen it in the last
What
couple
was
of days.
the time limit he was given to get the dirt out of there?
Eddie gave him the thing and told him he was getting close to his 10 days, he needed to get it out of there, I don't know that he gave him a day, but I know the next day he was taking dirt out.
Can you follow up with that and make sure?
Yeah.
So off the top of your head, how many MS4 violations was Mr. Dykema given?
Probably 6, I would say.
Over the whole time he's been building this house?
He got that fine, and he finally got that bigger fine, he paid that, and he was given quite a few warnings, and, you know, it's been there, obviously, that thing went on for 2 years, so.
Yeah,
There were several instances that he got
I just wanted off the top of your head.
Most times when he got a violation or a warning, he did address it, you know, he did do something about it.
That's another thing that's gonna get looked at in a policy change, the number of months that a property can remain disturbed. This 2-year thing has to get addressed. So if it goes more than a year, 11 months or something, we're gonna try to put something in ordinance where they have to go ahead, do the grade, do the seed, and be done with the grading of the project.
Okay.
So it doesn't linger on in these nightmare cases where it goes more than a year. It should never go 2 years. But there's I mean, somebody's trying to do a project themselves legitimately, sometimes it just works out that way. In this case, it just got off the rails. But we have to have something in writing, in ordinance, that we can enforce to fix that. Well, and we're looking at tweaking a number of things. That's one of them.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other public comment?
John, don't close the floor. I have 3 items.
I have some things I want to say too.
All right, who first?
I just want to rip through some things. The semi-trailer in 41 north of the liquor store, what's going on with that?
I gave it to the code enforcement bureau, I don't know.
She's on she's off work now for the next 2 months.
Probably nothing.
Right.
So you need to get over to the chief.
I'll give it to chief for tomorrow.
Thank you.
That's all I got for now.
Hey, David, you have something?
I want to remind the Plan Commission that the Plan Commission is in charge of chasing down things such as an offshore estate, Dykema property. Example of that, we lived for a couple of years, was the Lee Cove project. So we do that, and to Jerry's point, that's what we chase and seek to enforce. That's an example, recent example. The Lennar thing, I kind of sat back and couldn't find the words. Was it my recollection that Todd Clevin stood in the dais before you, told you about letting balls between his legs as a infant goaltender, and that he, on his word, would commit to completion, not reporting, not note-taking, not anything but completion of the items that were in question within 7 days after he left here. Am I misconstruing what he said? I mean, does anybody else remember that?
I think he used the word promise.
So, my suggestion is, and this will take a little bit of legwork, so we go back into the minutes of our meetings and identify each and every of the missed commitments made by that developer, which have stretched over an entire span of 5 years or thereabouts. So when they stand back up here in front of you and tell you it's all done, or it's about to be done, or we promise it'll be done, you know otherwise you can handle the record. That also ought to inure to some part of your consideration about the release or reduction of the performance surety. So, anyway, a couple loose thoughts as I was hearing what he had to say. And cash is king. They gave us cash. We're holding their cash. And until they finish correctly, it's advisable we hang on to their cash.
What was the time limit we gave him? Do you remember, Tim? We gave him 30 days or 90
No,
days? Or what did we give him?
they said that he threw out, I remember Dave, when he said clearly, they did say they were gonna, they ultimately said, he said 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, but they said that they would not need to renew that one in October, that it would be done by then. That was kind of the end. I mean, they kind of stumbled all over the place, but I felt like they are definitely making an effort to get out there and get these things taken care of now. I mean, I talked to the guy about getting the fence poles out. He responded, said they're going to get started on it today, or the other day when I told him. I don't know. I know that they finished all the storm inspections again, and they got most of that stuff done. There's a couple minor things that they still had, but they definitely are making some headway, so.
And he said tonight that, they found other items that were on the list, and they're gonna
Well,
take
of course, like, when you take 3 years to get the original list done, more stuff is going bad. That's.
So the deadline was a date in November?
Hamster wheel, Bob.
What was the
Like
deadline?
a hamster wheel.
Well, October 20th or something was the,
90 days.
that was the time for phase 1 renewal. Phase 2 and phase 3 are already renewed, so, we're hoping to make that progress and, you know, do what he said and hopefully get phase 1 released, but I'm in favor of Dave, like, I don't think there should be any thoughts of reducing phase 1 until it gets turned to maintenance at this point because of what the stories we've been told.
It says $6 million October 10th. That's when it expires. So we gave him 90 days from there. Is that what we gave him? What did we give him at the
I don't
meeting?
think so.
Well, you gave them 90 days on the 1.6 that you approved last.
1.6.
I think that one went to November.
That was for phase 3.
That was, phase
Okay.
1.
2 or 3.
I think phase 3, yeah.
Phase 1 is $6 million now.
They have so much stuff that's open that it's hard to keep track of what's.
Yeah, to be honest with you, like.
That's part of it also.
Yeah, it's been tough. But we're finally now back into the groove of trying to get it done, and we're out there doing inspections again, and we're going out there and looking at stuff and seeing stuff that's being done, so it's kind of a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, hopefully, but if it's gonna continue on, I can't say.
Okay.
I have one additional item.
Hand raised on
In January 2024, the PUD ordinance for Pinecrest Marina was adopted. The paperwork started trying to get caught up. It's a complex project, as you may recall, the Pinecrest Marina commercial development activity. And it took a while to gather the documents, get signatures and the like. I received it from Ben's staff in the middle of August, after all that had been done. There are dates that are inaccurate in it, and there are some space holders, empties. My request of you is to place this on your agenda for the next meeting, so we can clean up the dates, get the current dates right. And you might be asking, why am I asking you to do that for the dates, just fix them? Because those dates trigger events that are important in the zoning ordinance. Go to chapter 17, if you will. So we want to make sure they're right, make sure they're fair for the developer, petitioner, property owner, as well as for our staff in administering. Multiple dates mean multiple interpretations and the like. So we want to get this on a level playing field where we all understand the dates and obligations.
Was there a twilight clause built into that PUD?
Well, there is in the ordinance, or I'm sorry, in the zoning ordinance, Jerry.
Okay.
I think it's a year, or 18 months, one of the two. And we're past that.
Way past that.
So, and this ordinance has not been recorded. I held it waiting for this meeting. I got it at the same time as last month's meeting, and not in time to talk to you about it.
Well, if they're on the agenda next, in 2 weeks, are we gonna take action on something?
Yes, I'll send it over. Actually, Ben's office has it. That's where I got it from. You know, it has the exhibits. It's the complete ordinance instrument.
We're not gonna discuss the dates, we're just gonna update the dates to
what they should have been.
What's needed and what have you, okay.
Correct.
All right,
Thank you. That's what I had.
okay, thanks. Any other public comment?
There's somebody online.
Yes, who's up, hand up online there, who's?
This is Tom McSherry. Just as a point of clarification, Mr. Clevin had promised to have phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 completed and ready for turnover in 90 days. So if it's the town's wish, and we are fine with it, to extend this out another period, that way you've got the surety, you've got the assurance that, you know, there's money in place for it, we'll certainly process that. But the last meeting, the commitment was made to have everything done, wrapped up, and ready for turnover within 90 days. That's the last meeting.
Mr. McSherry, with all due respect, you're talking to, or I'm one plant commissioner that will not agree to another year on this situation. So, I mean, we're probably not gonna be able to hold Mr. Clevin to what he promised, but it won't get a year extension without some discussion about pulling it.
I understand that, and I think that is for conversations that are truthfully above my understanding of this. I believe that the period of the renewal is a period of 1 year. If we are on record of committing to have something done in 90 days, you can pull that for 90 days. I don't think that you have to wait until the full term. But again,
I'm not talking about being that drastic, but I just wanna verify something. Whatever we approve for an extension is what we approve for an extension, am I right?
That is correct. They are past the first extension time. We're into multiples.
But if he's asking if they do give a bond for 1 year and they only extend it for 90 days, then they can pull it after 90 days?
They can.
I think that's what you're asking, right?
That,
Or
and that,
120 days or...
that's the situation that I think we're in.
You're not gonna just say good for another year?
No. I mean, we're not getting anywhere like that.
Mr. McSherry, I think the concern I have is that things aren't done, and now it's September, and then it's October, and then it's gonna rain, and then we have all kinds of other problems. I agree with Mr. Parker. I'm not sure how many extensions I will comfortably agree to.
I understand, I really do. I think that, again, this is a big conversation that is above my level of understanding of these. I understand that these have a renewal period for 1 year that does not preclude you from pulling it at any time that you wish. But again, we'll come in, we'll meet with the town, we'll meet with the plan commission, however we want to see this structured. We can surely make that happen, make sure that everybody's comfortable with it.
Well, the good news is, nobody's come up from public comment regarding this development tonight.
It's not over yet. At the last meeting, we were on the verge of granting a 1-year extension, because that's what the paper was made out for. But we were assured, and I quote, assured that they'd be done in 7 days, but they'll take a 90-day extension and that's it. So as far as I'm concerned, there are no more extensions.
Okay?
Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Any other public comment?
Right.
See.
Pam Howard, 10013 West 141st Lane. I just basically have a question about Rose Garden. I know we're beating this dead horse. What are they doing about the concrete? I looked at the punch list that I got a copy from Todd last week, or 2 weeks ago. Really don't see any mention about cracks in the driveways, spalling all over the community and what they're going to do. I'm just kind of curious about, are there sidewalks and areas that they're talking about replacing concrete?
Driveways are not part of the process to build it.
From salt.
Right.
Some of it's from a bad pour.
Pardon?
I think a lot of it's from bad concrete, bad pour.
I've done a lot of concrete, an awful lot of it. I know if you don't use the correct salt on concrete.
Oh, I agree.
And it's not sealed.
But their company, or whoever they hired to do the snow removal, doesn't any of that fall back on them then? I mean, if our HOA has not been turned over yet, and we are paying for snow removal, if it's a company that they hired to do the snow removal and salting, does that fall back to them, or does that stay with us?
That's above my pay grade.
We do accept, I mean, when we inspect sidewalks, a little bit of spalling on the sidewalk or whatever, we kind of let be. If it's really bad and, 50% of it is spalled, we write that on the list. We don't, so we do have a kind of a, I don't want to say a standard, but if it looks like it was poured super wet or it froze, obviously the whole chunk of sidewalk's going to be busted.
You're gonna know that pretty quick, though.
Right, and we put that on the list, but we do, when we're looking at it, we don't say, there's a little spot here and there's a little spot here.
Well, I had a crack that was marked, and the pages, of course, come off.
A crack's a different deal, but spalling.
Sure, but they had marked this a year and a half ago.
Right.
When they were first
Well, that's
talking
the
about
problem.
it, and it's all washed away.
Right.
So unless somebody happens to notice it.
Well, that's gonna be the painstaking part of this now that we're going through, because a lot of these things are gonna be getting back to them, because, number one, they didn't do it a year and a half ago, but now we have to go back over it all again, and we're probably gonna find 75 more ones that weren't there a year and a half ago, but that's kind of what we're going through now. So we're working on it, and we're gonna do our best to get, the best product we can within, within reason.
Just kind of
While you're up there, did the fence posts get removed?
Yes, they did.
Okay, I
Yes,
don't
however, the irony of all that is, they came to remove it, and I talked to Brandon, I believe, afterward. You could see that two people were not communicating, Brian and Brandon, I was working with just the whole text message thing. And I said, well, I need to fill in some of the hole. And he says, well, I'll get you some dirt. Well, I had dirt at home, I filled it in, but I've not heard a word said from him yet about bringing me over dirt. Not a big deal, but again, it's just how the follow-through that we've all talked about.
So I kind of did a little walking around today looking to see if I could find any, and I didn't see any poles.
At 140, it's not that, well, they're in the ground, 141st and Heritage Way.
Yeah, and I know I was trying to recall where all the fence was and just kind of walk through some of
Right.
the yards over.
Mine are gone,
Broadway.
But if you, I mean, if you wanna let me know when you're in the area, I'll be happy to show you the 23 that are along that one stretch of road, because some of them are really very
And
nasty.
that was the one by Heritage, you're saying?
Heritage Way and 141st,
Okay.
which is the west end.
Yeah, 'cause I know, I mean, I was trying to recall where all the fence was, and then I started looking over on the east side by Garden Way in those houses, those first couple lots over there, but
Yeah, I don't know how many I don't recall
there
how
was
many
a fence,
fences.
yeah,
were.
I know there was some fencing along there, but I didn't see any, and then I got sidetracked. I looked for a bit, and I didn't.
Well, I'll be
found
happy
a
to, I
couple
can show you the
places
pictures
there.
that I took and maybe.
I seen the pictures, that's why I
Okay,
was trying to
yeah.
see actually, but they did tell me they were working on them and getting them out, but I didn't know if there had been any, if you noticed any being.
My 3 are gone, but not the ones over in the other subdivision. I just walked there, I think, on Sunday.
Okay, all right, I just figured, I know you knew where they were, so I
Yep.
just wanted to ask you,
Yep.
so.
No, there's probably more. but
That's helpful to know where they are, for sure.
You had said you did have the punch list, or you did not have
I
it?
did get a copy of it.
Okay,
from-
does it match a punch list from a year ago?
I never saw the one from a year ago. Remember, I think Todd gave you all a bunch of them.
So the
and I-
concrete that you're just talking about is not on the existing punch list that you received?
Not that I received. Just a lot of B-box stuff, nothing
A lot of
on the
that,
street.
a lot of the concrete is put down and it's basically marked and then dealt with at the time when it was marked. You know what I mean? So, it's gonna have to be redone, obviously, so.
And then they came to
And
pay my.
and those are the items, and I'm sorry, Ms. Howard, but those
No, go ahead.
are the items that I spoke about, that we had noticed additional sidewalk that we will be removing and replacing. It's not on our list, but as Mr. Kubiak had said, the amount of time that has lapsed, has led to more deterioration of sidewalk, and we will be taking care of that.
So would anybody have a way of knowing if theirs has been earmarked to be replaced?
I believe the dentist is meeting with the contractor tomorrow, and they're going to start marking everything out. We will then have the town and Seabell make sure that they are in agreement, that is in totality of what needs to be replaced, and then we will schedule the work.
Can you get her a list when you get it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Get it to Tim and he'll get it to Mrs. Howard.
Yeah, like I said, we're gonna get, first and foremost, we're gonna get the stuff painted out and get the stuff fixed. And normally, we don't make a list of every spot because we mark it, we check it, it's fixed and done, so, I don't wanna slow down progress by.
Adding more things.
We'll get.
So if we do, just to look for markings on the sidewalk, we'll
Yeah,
be
you'll see
sticking
the
different ones
paint
being
on them,
replaced.
yes.
Oh, that's
We've got
easy enough to
Axon,
share with people.
Yeah.
And you know when you anticipate going out? You said tomorrow you're walking it?
Well, they're gonna start getting their stuff marked, and we will be out there soon, I would say in the next week, for sure.
Okay.
So,
The only other thing I wanted to add is they did come to finish my painting, although to me, it's not up to standard. The painter wanted to just touch up my front door. How big is the front door? And he did just touch it up because he was concerned about being able to close it. I said, I'm good leaving my door open for a couple hours, let it dry. And he insisted on touching it up. He looks terrible. But to me, again, just shows.
You still have Mr. Clement's card?
I do.
I would snap a photo of that and send it to him.
Yeah, you don't notice it from the street, you notice it when you come to the door, but it's just like, again, this is just kind of like, excuse my language, the half-assed way of doing stuff, which is very discouraging when you buy a home or have your contractor do stuff. That's it.
Okay,
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Last call? Public comment is closed. We're adjourned.
It'd be kinda hard on that hammer.